Hi again, Mark here from Talkingbass. A few months ago I released a lesson devoted to the famous riff from the song Roundabout by Yes. It's a Chris Squire classic, and at the time I asked what other Chris Squire bass lines you'd like to see as a breakdown. Well, without a doubt, the most requested tune was Heart of the Sunrise, also from the Fragile album. So today we're going to look at a bit of speed metal, Yes style, in the shape of the tricky opening riff from Heart of the Sunrise. As always, the lesson material and tracks are all there over at Talkingbass. Just click the link in the info below, and while you're there, check out the lesson map where you'll find hundreds more lessons on every bass topic imaginable. You can also sign up for a totally free membership and gain access to a ton of other free practice resources like the Scale Reference Manual ebook and the 25 Bass Riff Challenge, so go check it out. Okay, so the opening to Heart of the Sunrise is around 146 beats per minute, and it sounds something like this. So, as always, this song features Chris Squire's signature grinding, trebly tone. This is one of the most recognisable tones in bass history and is very much a product of three key elements: a pick, a Rickenbacker, and some round wound strings. Now, as in the Roundabout lesson, I don't have a Rick, but I do have a pick and some round wounds, so you'll just have to settle for me using my good old Enfield, which I've set to single coil mode in both pickups with a little mid and treble added for good measure. So, first of all, let's work through the notes in the riff. We're in the key of G sharp minor, and the song starts with this opening line. Okay, so we start with the F sharp there, second fret of the E string, leading to the G sharp at the fourth fret of the E string. Okay, so this is pretty much 6/8, which you could also see as 3/4. It's simple 6/8 as opposed to compound time, which would be 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. We're actually counting it 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you'll often see it written as 3/4 as well. So we have 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it's 6 notes just with that F sharp at the beginning. Then we do that again. Then we come up this little chromatic line. So we have B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp. So that's second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth frets on the A string. And then we hit the F sharp at the fourth fret of the D string. And that's it for that beginning. So. Okay, so 16th notes in that first bar, and then these are all 8th notes leading up, okay? In terms of the picking, I'm articulating every single note, so I'm picking every one. So I'm not hammering on, which you will see in a lot of covers of this that you see online. If you listen to the isolated bass track of this, which you can find on YouTube, you can hear that he is actually picking every single note in there. So I'm just alternate picking throughout the whole thing. So up, so down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then I even alternate on the next notes. You could play all downstrokes there, but basically we're just picking every note. In terms of the fretting hand there, I'm using the first and fourth fingers, the index and the pinky, for the first two notes. And then when I work up through that chromatic line, I'm just using the fingers 1, 2, 3, okay? So come up, and then I just use that third finger to move up progressively through the remaining notes. So, and then index finger for the final F sharp. And that's it. Now, after that line, we have this gap of 2 bars of 4/4, which you'll hear counted out in 8th notes on the track. During this gap on the original, we have a dissonant keyboard chord and line played by Rick Wakeman. Now, when playing along to the original, I tend to count this as 2 groups of 6 and a 4, all 8th notes, okay? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you may be thinking, why would you do that? It's 2 bars of 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, The reason I do this is twofold. I count eighth notes in particular to be more accurate with the time and to stop me from veering off the road while the keyboards play slightly against the time. Then I count the groups of 6 because of the previous bars of simple 6/8 time or 3/4. The gap feels much more in keeping with the pulse this way, but you know, obviously that's just me. If you want to count 4/4, go for it. You could count 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But like I say, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whichever way works for you, just go for it. But if you're having problems with counting just basic 4/4, give that a try. Try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. After the gap, we repeat everything again, including the gap. So let's just work through all of that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next we get into the main part of the riff, which sounds like this. So here we have pretty much a repeating kind of motif. We've got an ascending and a descending version of it. So we start up high at the F sharp and G sharp 11th and 13th frets of the G string. And we have the group of 6, just as we did down here. Then again. But then we have an F sharp at the 11th fret of the G string to lead down to the D sharp at the 13th fret of the D string. Okay. Then when we get down to the D sharp, we just come down chromatically. D sharp, D, C sharp, C, B, and then the G sharp at the 11th fret of the A string. So it's 13th, 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th frets on the D string, 11th fret A string. So that's the descending version of this motif. Then we just take that down the octave down here. So exactly the same. So there we've got 4th and 6th frets on the D string. And then 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd frets on the A string, and then down to the 4th fret of the E string. In terms of the fingering in the left hand there, I'm using the 1st and the 3rd fingers. And then coming down 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and then using the 1st for the chromatic descent below. So 3, 2, 1, 1, 1, and then 3rd finger again for the G sharp at the end. Same again down here. And again, all of this is alternate picked, playing every single note. After that descent, we start to ascend again using the same motif. So we play the same riff that we did right at the start. Then we repeat that again, but an octave higher. So for that one there, I'm playing 4th and 6th frets on the D string for the F sharp and G sharp. And then coming up, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, 9th fret, 10th fret, 11th fret, 12th fret, 13th fret. And then the F sharp there at the 11th fret of the G string. Okay, so from the bottom. Finally, after we've made that ascent all the way to the top, we just jump down one octave to repeat that ascending motif. So, okay, so it's the same as we had down here, but I'm actually playing it here at the 9th and the 11th fret of the A string, so I don't have to jump down again, you know, because we're already up here. But apart from that, it's all the same. So if we put all of that line together, we get. finally, we have this end section to the riff that sounds like this. Okay, so we've got G sharp, F sharp, the 13th fret and 11th fret up on the G string, and then we've got this D sharp at the 13th fret of the D string, and the D sharp at the 11th fret of the E string. Now, on the original, I think what's happening here is that we've got two bass parts. We've got, you know, he's coming down on the top, and he's also overlaid that other part. But what we can do here to imitate that is actually come down, we pick the D sharp at the 13th fret of the D string, and we hammer on the D sharp at the 11th fret of the E string. So we have, so I'm picking that top note and hammering on at the same time. Okay, so we come down. Then we move down to the C sharp, so 11th fret D string, 9th fret E string, and then down to the B. So that's 9th fret D string, 7th fret on the E string. And from that point on, we've just got the low notes. We have A sharp, 6th fret of the E string, G sharp at the 4th fret of the E string, and then the F sharp down at the 2nd fret of the E string, and then we've got the open E, and there is actually an octave in there that you can hear. So I'm using the 7th fret of the A string for that. But yeah, I mean, you could play a whole power chord if you want, but I'm just playing that there. So. Okay. Now, on the face of it, it might seem that the tricky part here is going to be this pick and hammer on thing, but it's not. That's quite simple. The tough part is going to be counting it. Now, when you play this along with the original, you might get a little bit confused because it's not really, there's no outline of the time in the same way that there is earlier on. You know, there's no beat going through it. It's all a lot of stabs. And some are shorter than others, and it can seem a little bit weird. Now, what we actually have here is 3/8. So, I've transcribed it as 3/8 to make things a little bit easier to count. So we've got 3/8, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then when we get down to this A sharp here at the 6th fret of the E string, we have a bar of 5/8. So all we have to do there is think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. And it's important to count through that because, like I say, there's no other way to really hear the time. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the rest of them are 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're down. Okay, so slowly again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're there. Okay? Now, playing it slow like this, the counting doesn't seem too tricky at all, but when you actually play it along with the original, because it's moving at quite a pace, it can actually seem quite tricky. So, with this line, I don't count 3 on the first bar. I just count 3s from here, down here, and then I count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so again. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Okay? So now let's put all of that together slowly. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the main problems you're going to have playing this line will centre around the pick control and switching from string to string at speed. Now my biggest tip for this problem is to isolate the moves. Focus on the string crossing by simply practicing it away from the rest of the riff. So to do this on the opening line, you can simply play up to the string cross. So okay, so be aware of the stroke that's required on the next string. So here we're landing on the downstroke. So always use that as a guide and target for the picking hand. So you can just practice that move in isolation until you get it. And just build up speed on that. Okay, so you get used to that hit down on that B. For the descending riff up here, you can isolate the move in the same way, but you're likely to find this overall line much harder. On the string cross, when we come back onto the D string, we're landing on the downstroke, but you're going to want to focus on the actual upstroke on the note before, which was the F sharp at the 11th fret of the G string. If you're lazy on that note, you'll find the string cross harder to make because the pick won't move out enough to make the shift. So start slowly and isolate that move. Really accent that upstroke before the shift and you'll probably find it much easier and you'll be less likely to get all twisted up. So, okay. Okay, you can hear there, I'm really accenting that note before to land on the D sharp. As one other tip in terms of the picking hand, it can help a little to angle the pick slightly. So instead of attacking the string with the flat side, like, you're going to be catching it with this thin edge just a little more. I mean, only a little bit, and it'll give you a little grind to the tone. And more importantly, it'll give you a better angle of attack for crossing the strings at speed. When you play with the flat part of the pick, it forces you into playing more parallel to the string and, you know, in more of an outward heavy motion, you know, kind of coming out of the body. When you angle the pick with the hand, you get a better downward motion into the strings, which helps with all of that speedy movement. So as an exercise before playing along to the original or the track, you can get a better, longer run of practice of those motifs by just looping the riff round and round. So I'll show you what I mean with this. I'm going to start low and then just keep moving up until I get to the top. And then when I'm at the top, and then down. Okay, and that's the whole line. So we play that up, down, and then come back up, down, and you can just loop it. And so on. Okay, so this is a riff where you're going to have to start out slow and build up speed over time. You know, practice it, you know, away from tracks, metronomes, anything like that. Just get it under your fingers and just slowly build up speed. Then, once you've got that, you can start to play along with the tracks. Now, I've made tracks at speeds of 116 beats per minute all the way through to 146, which is full speed, and it's ascending in 10 beats per minute intervals. So if you go along to Talking Bass, they're all there for you to work through. For the counting, we've got a bar of 3/4 and then a bar of 6/8. So we have 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you're in. So let's try with the track at 116 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. by 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. So, like I said, I've got 4 different tracks over at Talkingbass for you to practice to, so I won't work through all of them. Let's just go straight in now with full speed 146. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's Heart of the Sunrise. Please like, comment and subscribe, and as per usual, let me know what other Chris Squire riffs you'd like me to cover in the comments. Also remember to check out the lesson material and backing tracks at Talkingbass by clicking the link in the info below, and I'll see you next week.